Yeah, next up we are going to take a look at warehousing and inventory decisions in this chapter on distribution management, which we are currently doing. Now, I've already shed a little bit of light on what we mean by warehousing. We know that a warehouse is a storage place which we commonly refer to as a godown, where we store goods. So, we store goods which are either awaiting demand or order fulfillment, or we store goods which are raw material, components, spare parts that need to be further processed, assembled. We store goods that require to be packaged, or we store finished goods, and we await an order or try to build up stocks in order to meet demand as and when it arises for seasonal items. Like obviously nobody buys air conditioners all year round or ice cream all year round, so you may build your stock up in anticipation of demand also. So warehousing basically creates place and time utility by keeping products in usable, safe condition, keeping them intact so that we can meet orders or demand as and when they arise. Now, which are the different types of warehouses? So you have public warehouses which are owned by government and they're made available to the private sector. Then you have private warehouses, you have bonded warehouses, smart warehouses, consolidated, cooperative, government warehouses, distribution centers, which where items are just kept and then they are just distributed, which are commonly used by e-commerce companies. They would need it because they get shipments from different suppliers and then they dispatch to the customer. So these are different types of warehouses broadly. Warehouses are also places where you record the entry of goods or material from the point on or the date on which they arrive. You store them accordingly in an organized manner so that you can locate them, you classify them, you keep stock, you keep a record of how much inventory was there, how much went out, and you probably follow a system of first in first out or last in first out to dispatch goods from a warehouse. So at a warehousing, goods may be unloaded, stored, they may be offloaded, they may be again loaded onto a truck, they may be packaged, they may be moved around within a warehouse or from one warehouse to another. This is all what happens in warehousing. What are the functions of a warehouse? So a warehouse helps to store goods. It's just a safe place to keep your goods, protect them, keep them in usable condition, keep them intact, keep them safe. It helps. It is also useful in risk bearing, so that any financial risk that you have from investment in raw materials, unfinished goods or finished goods, those that risk is taken care of because you keep goods in a safe environment. Then processing, it facilitates further processing of raw material or work in progress. It helps you to grade, classify stocks into raw materials, consumables, work in progress, finished goods, these type of classifications. Or you have agricultural produce, then based on quality, size, color, you may grade goods which are stored. It helps in branding, where you package and brand your items, and it also facilitates transportation, further distribution of the goods. Now, warehousing decisions involve decisions relating to ownership. That is, whether you should buy a warehouse or you can rent out a warehouse. What are the feasible locations for a warehouse? Okay, whether you want it close to the manufacturing facility or you want it close to the market marketplace. So in case of perishable commodities, you may want it to be closer to the marketplace. Then optimal number, how many warehouses should you have, what is the capacity of the warehouse, the size of it, what are the facilities available in the warehouse, whether you need cold storage, whether it is available or not, and internal warehouse management. How can you manage, whether you need to move goods manually, whether you need a cart, whether you need trolleys, all these decisions come under warehousing decisions. As I mentioned earlier, inventory refers to the stock of goods. So how much material you have, it could be raw material, it could be components, it could be spare parts, it could be work in progress, it could be finished goods. So inventory is relating to all these items, the stock of goods. Broadly, a firm would need raw material, it would need consumables, spare parts, stationery, work in progress, finished goods, packaging material, maintenance, repair, and operations, items which are required for this. So if you have a printer, you would probably need paper, you would need ink, you would need cartridges, you would need for an office, you would need files, you would need pens, all sorts of stationery items. So all these come in inventory which are required for a business, not just at the main line of business. So if it's a textile company, you are getting cotton or silk, that may be the raw material, and the finished product may be a shirt or a sari. But in between, all different types of materials would be required for the operational aspects or the administrative aspects also. Now, inventory management decisions are those decisions that affect the quantity of the inventory. They also affect the per unit cost of inventory, and what are the decisions relating to labor, overhead, all these things which directly and indirectly affect the cost per unit of inventory. Now, this is very important, and that is why the Japanese came up with the concept of just-in-time inventory management, because they wanted to make their inventory management as efficient as possible and minimize the expenses that went into keeping dead stock. Like, unless your finished products are converted into cash sale, your working capital cycle does not move. And one of the main reasons for slow movement of working capital cycle is this poor inventory management. So a company requires to take certain decisions relating to inventory management, and those are how much to buy, how much to hold, how much to maintain, what is the nature of inventory, whether it's perishable, non-perishable, seasonal, non-seasonal, whether the items are indigenous or imported inputs, what is the cost of inventory, what is the stock turnover, what are your production needs, and what is the space availability. All these decisions need to be taken into consideration. In the next video, we'll be taking a look at logistics management. Thank you for listening, and please don't forget to leave your feedback and comments on the content in this video, and don't forget to share the contents of this video and the information and the content on this channel with other students who would benefit from the same. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video. Thank you.